you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Head toss, check my legs. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Ooh, child, tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. So I do not own any rights to that song. That is Lizzo, Good as Hell. And I thought it was very appropriate considering I had put on a mask this morning, and a pore refining mask, by the way, or pore clearing, excuse me, that to kind of let you know that I would be on here and really to introduce the topic for today. So today, actually, what I used was the e.l.f., if you're curious, pore clearing glitter peel off mask. It was definitely interesting. I haven't done a mask in a long time, but I thought yesterday, what are some of the things that I'm not doing that I could be doing, that I can really incorporate into my new normal moving forward? And some of the things that I have really slacked on is just kind of taking care of me in general. And I've started working on my fitness and nutrition, my health. But physically, there are things like I literally would not leave my house without makeup on. Clearly, you guys see me all the time without makeup. Makeup, hair done. Again, in my 20s, before I had children, late teens, I would not go anywhere without being completely put together. And after you have children, obviously that changes a little bit. But first, I just want to say thank you so much for being here and coming into these lives. I am doing them every morning at 9 a.m., unless otherwise noted, just to kind of put a little, fun or something different into your lives during this crazy time where we are all kind of pretty much stuck at home and have minimal exposure. Oh, my ears are crooked. I didn't really ever realize that. That's so funny. Anyway, the things that you notice, right? Especially when you have ADD. So again, when I come in here and talk to you a little bit, the whole purpose for the mask was certainly to kind of just think about the things that I can do during this time that I've maybe gotten away from that I actually enjoyed. I had noticed that my pores were getting bigger, and my face is actually kind of showing more signs of breaking out and stuff of that nature. Obviously, stress, nutrition, there's a lot of things that will play into that, but also just not really taking care of your skin the way that you should. Obviously, we can't go and get a facial right now or do those things necessarily because, most people are social distancing, and that doesn't put you in 6 feet. If somebody's touching your face, and right now they don't want you touching your face. So obviously this is a little bit different. I'm cleaning my face, cleansing, and then wiping it down afterwards. So anyway, the point is that you're not going out and you're not doing those things, but you can do them at home. So I laughed because yesterday, Sean and I ran to Walmart really quickly to grab a few things, which ended up being about an hour. And I was there while we were there. I grabbed this mask, and we're walking in, and I'm like, what is going on with these buggies? And then I actually stopped and read them. So, or shopping carts, wherever you're from, whatever you call them. They had them flipped upside down, and they literally had them spaced out 6 feet apart so that they could encourage and show you what 6 feet distance looked like. And I almost laughed because there was this lady that had a mask on who was, restocking in the pharmacy area where I was looking. I picked up some makeup and some other things. And she kept like literally cutting me off. And, because I'm the kind of person that always forgets something, and I go back and I go away and then I come back to the same section. So I was going back in the section, and literally every time I walked by her, she literally walked in front of me. And I know she was just trying to do her job, or she's trying to do this. And it just kind of made me chuckle though, because I'm like, you are not staying 6 feet away from me. Like, there's no way that because you're literally right in front of me. Um, and it just kind of made me laugh because you're there with mask on. I mean, and maybe she felt like she was protected or whatever, but it was just kind of funny. Anyway, the whole point of today is really to just kind of think about the things that you can incorporate in your life, and then carry those through into what's going to be a new normal. Because, I have a feeling that none of our lives are going to be exactly the same as they were before. And, in addition to putting on my mask this morning, I also did a hair treatment for my hair. So I have a leave-in conditioner in, and I just braided my hair to let it dry and do that. So it was just another way for me to kind of take care of myself today, and something that I can do moving forward. Angie Bellmeyer is actually my great grandma coach of some sort. She is somebody who has done very, very well in the business that I am working in. And she actually had a video of what she does in the mornings, and she puts on a hair mask in the morning sometimes and then does her workout. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try that. So, again, these kind of things that we can now take a look at and we can incorporate into our lives. One of the books that I've been wanting to read, and a lot of people talk about the premise behind, and I'm just going to share that with you today, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And what that is, and sorry because I was messing with my hair, I have little pieces of hair all over me. What that is actually, the small things that you don't really see. And he talks about in this book, it's kind of like a well, right? A water well, where you continue to pump, you continue to pump, you continue to pump, and then eventually the water comes up, right? It's not on that first pump, it's after several pumps that you actually will get that water. The same thing applies to our lives and the things that we're doing, whether you're in business or, again, looking at how you can take care of yourself or what you can do, these new type of routines that you can implement into your life moving forward. So these small things that are going to make a difference in who you are and how you feel when you get back to your new normal. So it is really what I want to talk about. So those things, when it comes to my business, it's social media, you're doing a lot of stuff on here, and every little thing moves that needle just a little bit, right? It moves that water. Using that book as an example, it moves that water just a tiny bit, to where eventually it will be free flowing. But it takes time. It's not something that, and when we're talking about habits, I mean, if you look at any kind of studies, it takes at least 21 days to develop a habit. So for 3 weeks straight, you have to do the same thing over and over again in order to have that. It's the same thing with this. We really want to look at what can we do consistently that is not going to take a lot of time, that is going to be something that we can kind of incorporate in our lives right now, that we can do once we go back to a full-time job and working all the time, or once we go back to both, people being out of the home and we have that time. So, what are some of those things that you can do? I'd love for you to think about that, share them with me, and anybody else, because you may have an idea that's going to resonate with somebody else, where they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't think about that. I really need to do that. One of the things that I'm going to try to do is certainly work on taking better care of my skin. I'm getting older, I'm 44. And when you have that, it's like, I'm definitely noticing I definitely have crow's feet. I've seen those for probably about 6 or 8 years now anyway. I have laugh lines. I have, wrinkles in my neck that I don't like. So these are all just things that, if I take better care of my skin, then they won't bother me as much. It won't be something that I focus on as much. So again, what can I do now to kind of incorporate these things into my life to help move forward? Well, I'm going to start doing masks regularly. I have actually started using a night cream and a moisturizer in the morning. So when I go to bed, I take off my makeup, which I never ever did before. Well, I shouldn't say never ever, but very, very rarely. I now have makeup remover wipes, which make my life so much easier at night. I go in, take it off, and then I put on my night moisturizer or my night cream before I go to bed. So it's just something that I feel so much better doing that. My skin feels so much better. I'm like, ooh, it's so soft now. And I feel better in general. And this is something that just takes a couple of minutes at night, a couple of minutes in the morning, or a minute in the morning, and my life is very different. But it's also like it's in a positive way. But it's also something that I can continue to do once I go back to work. So, or once my life changes to what my new normal is going to be. So I want you to think about that. I mean, there's things that you can do with your children. There's things that you can do with your spouse. There's things you can do with your grandchildren if you're like me and you have grandchildren. I know that I want to start, and it's kind of difficult with my children's schedule, but I would really like to start having like weekly FaceTimes. I would really like to do daily, but I mean, I know that's asking a lot. So I'm going to reach out to my kids and say, hey, is there a day that works best for you? Because I'd really like to schedule a call with you guys once a week where we can connect. I know we text, that's kind of our thing, but I would love to see you guys. And I would love, being that I'm in North Carolina, they're in Ohio. And this is something that, I want to be cognizant of. Maybe it's a Sunday night thing. Maybe it's a Sunday night where I can get together with everybody and I can have a call. Maybe we can all have a call where we can, enjoy that time together. I don't know. I don't know what my son's schedule is right now. But anyway, the whole point is these are things that I'm going to look at. What can I do to kind of continue through to our new normal? So these are things that fuel my fire or fill my soul and fill my cup, if you will, to make me feel like um, I'm really living my best life. And those are the things that I'm trying to really focus on. So, again, definitely, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for, being a part of this and taking away whatever you can from the videos. If you find any value in them, please like, comment, share the videos, and tag people that you feel could benefit from this. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, be active, and be happy, guys, and I will see you then.